Jim. Each year, we have included, as part of our commencement, reflections from the graduating class. Since this is a celebration of the accomplishments of our graduates, the class of 2013, it is only fitting that they have a voice in our ceremony. The faculty members choose the senior representative, not just for outstanding academic performance, but for the combination of academic and artistic achievement. This year, I am particularly pleased to introduce our senior class valedictorian, Claire Marinin. Claire is a graphic design major who lives here in St. Paul. Claire, will you please come forward at this time?
Hello. As some of you know, and some of you may not know, CVA was not my first experience with college. I spent 4 years studying, reading, traveling, and fulfilling a liberal arts degree before being dropped into the outside world with no idea what to do with myself. I'd gone to school because that's what you're supposed to do. And I picked English because I wanted to spend my time reading novels for class credit. I had a great time while I was there, but then it was over, and I, along with pretty much anyone else I ran into, was left asking, what are you going to do with an English degree? So I ended up in retail, in a small local shop with a great staff, and for a while, I guess it worked out. I was paying bills and getting along, until I started noticing this guy at my regular cafe building vodka bottles in Photoshop. It surprised me. I'd never really considered the creative side of a career path, and watching him progress through his classes and the creative energy that flowed from his designs was enough to open me up to a whole new world of possibilities. Almost impulsively, I had made appointments at MCAD and the Art Institute to see if I could extend my liberal arts degree into design. The schools were eager, but something just didn't feel right. I had 2 decent offers, but I started to question my lack of planning. And as maybe a few of you can attest to, if anyone's good at second-guessing themselves about 10 times over, that would be me. Convinced the whole idea had just been a passing fancy and I was in way over my head, I started to back out. Until the vodka designer pointed out that what I'd been admiring had come from somewhere else. One fall visit day later, and I knew what I'd been missing. I started CVA as a last-minute spring admit, but regardless of the fact that I was a little bit older and scooted in a little later than normal, and still to this day, incredibly socially awkward, paranoid, and shy, I never felt left out or like I didn't belong. And that's what was missing before I found CVA. The community that we hold up with such strength welcomed me in and carried me through. As a class and as a community, CVA has built us up and held us together. Like a family, we have good times and bad. Sometimes we hug and sometimes we cry. Sometimes we fight and sometimes we're all we have to make it through. And like a family, we've been there for each other through thick and thin, feast and famine, highs and lows. We've called in the support of our friends and our teachers, and we've all made this journey together. And as Julie, Linda, John, Jim, Val, Ellen, Jessica, and Maria sit watching us with pride, we know that we've finally made it. We are richer than when we came in. We are bonded by what we've been through. Everyone in this room has been changed by the person sitting next to them, and has changed that person in turn. Maybe you tried vegetarian food for the first time, got drunk together for the first time, or challenged authority by sneaking onto the roof of Summit after a dance. The bonds we have with each other have been especially important these past few months. We've made it through thesis, the senior gallery show, and thunder snowstorms. We've made it through the closing of a college with an 89-year history of producing extraordinary alums. Past graduating classes have had the luxury of knowing that when they were feeling nostalgic, they could go back and rest their feet on the lawn, get some crap from Sean Grant, or cry on Ann White's shoulder. They could come back in the fall, sit on Costello's patio, and reminisce while watching bright-eyed, shiny-faced new foundation students start their own chapter. We do not have that luxury. Instead, we must make sure that the CVA story continues. CVA has shaped who we are and who we are going to become. It has given us a unique perspective. We see the world differently. Not only differently than we did before, but differently than anyone does. And we must use that gift wherever our road takes us. Maybe we can change the world, or maybe we can just change someone's world. But we owe it to ourselves, to those who came before us, and to those who will no longer have a chance to come here to make our mark, in whatever form that mark may take. They say that in the visual arts, you get out what you put in. And this goes just beyond the number of hours you spent slaving away over your foundation year cathedral drawing, or the all-nighters all-nighters finishing your final thesis projects mere hours before the show went up. What we put in here is more than that. It's what we put into each other and this community that will ultimately be what we get out. And whether it's in photos, painting, printmaking, books, or vodka bottles, we know that we put in everything we've got, all the time, every time. So as this final year draws to a close, remember what you've poured your passion in this family, and know that the return is just around the corner. Put in everything you've got in you today, and tomorrow you'll have everything you dreamed of coming back at you. Thank you.